Hello friends! So I know I'm a little late for self-care tarot, but I was doing a whole lot of things I think that really were kind of in the spirit of getting into this whole full moon in Virgo, and I just feel a lot of the heaviness that I have been processing personally starting to lift. Not because, I asked the universe to lift it without me doing any work. It's actually, I've been doing the work of processing and feeling and working through, and it feels really good. Like, it's almost like it feels like I'm maturing. I don't know if you all have ever hit those points in your lives when you feel yourself maturing in a way that is different or meaningful or noticeable. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. And of course you can see as I've been charging, I was charging my crystals during the full moon. I mean, it's still the full moon and they're still charging, but I kind of wanted to go through and just pull out the ones that I wanted to, that kind of resonated. Of course, I've got my moonstone that I want to pull out. I think I have 3 or 4. I think I have 4 actually. One I had in my bag. I've got some rose quartz. I always like to have onyx, my clear quartz. I think this is aventurine. I think that is aventurine. I'm going to pull that out just because. What else? My citrine. I'm going to pull that out. I have 2 of those. And I always like my pyrite. I always like it. So I'm going to pull that out. What else? Because it's Virgo new moon or full moon. I don't know. I've got my oh my gosh, I forgot the name of these. Yoni. I think these are yoni stones because it's a full moon. You never know. What else? I think that's it. No, I want some jasper up here too. And moldavite, just cause. I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna put these over to the side to continue charging. I hope you all are able to see that as well. Actually, I might just go ahead and turn on. I am living a pleasurable life. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to go for. Let me turn this light on. All right. All right, hopefully that is a little bit better so you all can see. So what are we looking at? Not so much. So what is the purpose of the self-care tarot readings? Self-care tarot and oracle. So when I wrote the self-care guide for YouTube tarot watchers, I really wanted to hone in on how helpful the tarot and oracle can be when we ask ourselves the inner questions that the cards bring up, that we ask ourselves internally. So I just kind of want to point that out. I'm the kind of person that tends to I can be really hard on myself. So I think also the purpose of the self-care is to make sure the processing of the feeling and the processing of the emotion is really moving me in a direction of healing and not so much in a direction of, re-wounding myself. I'm actually putting myself on a path of healing, and therefore also hopefully being a model of how to do that if you're reading for yourself. Okay, let's see. Let's start with an oracle. I have been loving my Wild Unknown Archetypes deck just to get a feel for, just kind of how things are going. And I kind of, honestly, I kind of really focus a little bit more either on deep into one card tarot readings, 1 or 2 cards, or just really doing some oracle card readings. because I feel oracle cards, I don't know, I like oracle cards. I like them too. Okay. So let's get into this self-care and really just, you know, just as I'm shuffling, I'd like you to just take a minute and breathe deeply into your root chakra, into your hips, and exhale, and just feel yourself relaxing and settling into alignment. Yeah, feel that relaxation. Keep breathing as I'm shuffling. And just really think about you. This is time for you. This is time for you to really get into connection with your own intuition, your own, I don't know why I'm hearing your own sacral and sacred being. So you might even tune into your sacral chakra. Tune into what brings you pleasure, what brings you, what your desires are, no matter how, even if you haven't said them out loud to anyone else, say them to yourself. Say them to so that you acknowledge internally those desires that you have. Say them to yourself. Acknowledge that those things exist. I'm feeling that in this self-care. We're looking at sacral chakra. All right, so open your eyes, and here we go. We've got a couple of cards here. Wow. Okay, so the cards that came out are I'll put them this way, the Creator and the Prayer. Ooh. And it's so funny, of course, you know, I was talking about how I'm feeling, you know, that sacral, that desire, that sacral energy, and how that is the life force of manifesting. And, you know, it's that go-between of manifesting what we really, really want. And so here we have the Creator and the Prayer. And I just feel like that's so much of a manifesting energy. I mean, if that isn't manifestation, I don't quite know what else to say. Let's see here. I'm going to prop these up so that you can see them. I've got my little full moon lamp there. I don't like to block it, but I want you all to be able to see the cards themselves. The Creator and the Prayer. I have been feeling, so let me share what I feel when I feel into this Creator card. I have been feeling like I'm creating connections, but also, and it's like a little bit beyond, you know, when people say, oh, you have to manifest. This is really getting into the core of that idea of manifestation. When we acknowledge that we are the creator of our lives, I think that's the first step of manifestation, is being the creator. We create our own lives. We create when we have those desires, when we're talking about the sacral chakra, when we have creations that come from those desires. And I feel as if there's this idea of creating, and then when I look at the prayer card, the prayer is what brings both the creator and the sacral, the sacred, together. It's the pathway to getting what we truly desire, not just what we think we should have, that will help us meet the needs of, you know, in the United States, meet the needs of a capitalist society. But like they're really truly the deep soul things that we need. If we really tied into what would bring us a pleasurable life, what would make life juicy and dripping with everything we ever wanted in our most wildest, and when I say juicy, I mean like wet, palpable, just pulsating desire. What connects us to our power of creating, and that prayer is what connects the desire and the creator, is having the right prayer, not even the right prayer, the prayer that really puts it into perspective, the words, the feeling, and not even it's not even just having the words or the feeling. It's walking daily in the knowing that you have a desire and that you are the creator. I hope that makes sense. The prayer is here to bring forward that which you truly need from a sacred soul level, sacral, sacred. Okay, so I am going to put these here. Let's see if you can still see those. Yeah, I think you can. I think you can still see those. So we'll just kind of keep those in mind as we, as we read some tarot. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what cards I want to use. I really like the intuitive tarot, but I'm not really here to bring you a message. I'm here to, well, yeah, I am. Of course, I'm here to bring you a message. So let's ask Spirit about this pleasurable life, about this connecting to our desires, our palpable wants, not wants even. It's the things that we almost dare not say to ourselves that we need or that we want, or that, no, it's the things that we dare not say to ourselves that we desire, that we need to say to ourselves that we desire. Because if we don't, how do we go about walking around in the world not getting what we want? Oh, not getting what we desire, right? Because when we talk about desires, those are our personal things. Those are things that are specific only to us. But if we walk around as if we have no desires, guess what people are going to treat us as? Guess what life is going to give to us? Anything the hell it wants to, right? So, Spirit, tell us more about desire. Tell us more about desire. Tell us more about desire. Tell us more about creating and prayer. Tell us more about desire. Oh, yes. Oh, wow. Oh, look at, oh my gosh, 8 of Cups. Tell us more about desire. Oh, yes. Thank you. Wow. I'm getting so many cards. Tell us more about desire, creator, the prayer. Tell us more about the sacral. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Perfect. Of course. I'm sorry. This is so amazing. This is so amazing. I am just praying to Spirit that it helps me bring forth the words to bring this message through, to be a clear channel. So we have the 8 of Cups up first. Then we have the Hierophant, the Judgment card, and the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to push these over just a tad so you can see them all in the screen. Yeah, you can see just about all of them. So this is the true, what is that? I keep forgetting the name of it. True Heart Intuitive Tarot deck. We have the Wheel of Fortune card, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the Ace of Cups. If this isn't sacred, I don't know what else to say to you all. But I think I do. So I'm going to continue. 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups. I'm going to stand it up right here. So 8 of Cups. With the 8 of Cups, I feel as if there are kind of this idea of, we have set up so many cups in the past, so many things that we thought we wanted and thought we desired and thought we really needed, when really there's this idea of connecting to something that is higher than the things that are tangible, right? The things that we can see externally and outside of ourselves. There is this connection to a higher sense of self. And the 8 of Cups is all about a spiritual journey. We are leaving behind some very viable cups, but as you can see, all of these cups were probably, maybe they were set up on unstable ground. Maybe they were tied to, as you can see here, the man or the person is just kind of stepping onto this new path, and all the cups here are connected to where he's currently standing. And he had the opportunity to walk to shore, maybe go in this boat back here and cross the water, but he's taking a new path. He is stepping onto a path that is actually traveling upwards toward this planet that is completely away from where he is, right? And it's so funny because I feel like I've talked about this before. It reminds me of a meditation. It reminds me of meditating even. So this card could even remind you to get more into a meditative practice, even if it's just for 1 minute and just building on that. Maybe even just 30 seconds. You close your eyes and you have an intention to meditate for 30 seconds and let yourself move into that path of connecting with the higher self. And I say that because this particular card is bringing up the idea for me. Again, I've told this story before about having this meditation that basically pushed me out into the far reaches of the universe, where I was able to soak up all this divine knowledge. And it was just so great being there, because that's really where I felt like I belonged. And so there is this idea of moving, you're allowing your body and your desires to move you toward your higher self. And I think we're also, when we talk about the 8 of Cups in this way, we also talk about, if you're studying human design, we talk about deconditioning. If you're talking about, new age types of work, you're talking about shadow work. You're talking about deprogramming, deconditioning, shadow work, all of those things that are actually meant to connect you to your higher self. That's it. That's it. But we have to be willing to identify with our desires. And I think, again, if you haven't yet reached that point of, I've been conditioned in such a way that desire is a bad word, then maybe it's time to really look at, maybe part of your journey in this is really looking at, what does desire really mean to me? And I think that's what comes up in the Hierophant card. It's kind of two things. You're addressing, in order to become a Hierophant, right? And a Hierophant is someone who is in their, so the Hierophant is someone who is basically at the top of their game and able to lead on crowds. But there's also this idea of it being a question of religious structure. So if you're having questions around what desire means to you, really start honing in on where was it that I learned or that someone taught me that desire was a bad word, and why would they teach me that? And question that. Why would they teach me that desire is a bad word? Was it because they didn't want me to connect with my body? Was it because they didn't want me to connect it to a higher sense of self? Was it because they wanted to and it's something, this is so funny, this is something that I actually talked to someone with, is about the idea of others using shame, you know, shame, of course, using shame as a function or a way of control. And even, you know, if you're a parent teaching about desire, you teach shame as a way of control and redirection, when really that's not what's necessary. What's necessary is to completely claim your entire body as the religious structure and become the leader, right? The religious leader of your own body. That's the temple. That's the religion. That's the spirit. That's it. You are it. That's what I see in this Hierophant card. And Judgment comes up. And again, the Judgment card is not so much about you're going to heaven, you're going to hell. That's not it. That's not it. This is acceptance. This is acceptance that this is the new you. This is, and not only the new, this is not just the new you. This is the you that always was and always will be, right? This is the you that, you know, when you head to that idea of higher self, you are heading into connection with this idea. No. You're heading into connection with your higher self. This is how you have always been. This is how you will always be. That higher self is never going to end. That is a part of you. That is a part of the universe. That is your spirit. That is your soul. That is your higher divine being. And so with this Judgment, right, I don't quite see anyone down here, you know, needing to be judged, I feel like this is someone heeding the call to a new life, heeding the call to new values, heeding the call of the higher self. That's what this card looks like to me. This is you understanding I am more than just a body. I am a whole being. Desires, joys, aches, but I'm directly connecting to my higher self, and I'm heeding the call of the higher self. I'm heading in that direction. And by doing that, here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I think you can see that. There we go. The Wheel of Fortune, basically you are understanding how you are in control of your life, of your divine being. And I see that now echoed in this Creator card. You can see the circle here, you can see the Creator. And honestly, this is the fourth eagle that I'm seeing as I've been moving forward in my weeks. This is the fourth eagle that I'm seeing in this Wheel of Fortune card. You are taking the wheel. You are taking control of the wheel. And you are moving forward into this juicy, delicious higher self with all of your sacral being, all of your sacral desires. You are accepting all of those juicy desires that come from right down in your gut. You know, your sacral chakra is right there, just around, kind of around your reproductive parts. But it's really that like, just settling into it and what really turns you on, even if you think of it that way, what really turns you on. All right. And again, overall, the bottom of the deck here is the Ace of Cups. Like I don't know how to quite describe it, but sometimes when I see the Ace of Cups, I feel like, the cup, that cup of the sacral area where there's this idea of even if it's an imaginary womb, even if you're a person who does not have a womb, I sense it as that cup of desire. That's a sacral cup. You know, your uterus, your womb, it's the sacral womb in you, even if it's just the sacral chakra area. This is the juicy parts of you that says, this turns me on, that turns me on. And I'm not doing it because I am, you know, trying to find a new direction, or I'm doing it because I'm feeling those juicy connections, because I feel that it's intrinsically tied to my higher self. It's directly tied to my higher self. These juicy things that I want are part of my religion. They're part of my everyday spiritual practice. So even if I decided to go for a walk, that is part of my sacral practice. If I decided to go have sex, that is a part of my sacral practice. That is a part of my religion. Do you know? That is it. If that's your religion, that's where you should be praying daily. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful self-care tarot read. And you know what? I'm just going to end on that. I hope you all enjoyed this reading. And I look forward to these, because these are just like affirming, opening readings for me, where I am just able to connect with myself, and I don't have to be hard on myself, because I don't have to, I don't need to be. And even in that, I am getting so much of a connection with spirit, and I'm just so grateful for you all joining me. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Whenever you're watching this, have a wonderful evening. If you have some sort of, you know, if your religion, you know, of course it's a full moon. So, you know, if you are, still within the energy of the full moon, please feel free to celebrate by enjoying your desirous self, enjoying your juiciness, enjoying your juicy desires. Okay? Thank you. Bye.